Let's go and have a look at the old dam again, why not? Sunday morning. I created a little group, should be 2 or 3 or 4 people. Let's go see how much water is in there. Make a circle route and see what flowers we can see. Well, I'm adamant to go and see what the old dam looks like. Not only the old dam, I want to go and see if there are any flowers, if those flowers I saw when going up, moderately going up, whether those flowers are still there. They're quite spectacular. Can you believe it? No surprise, actually. Group was formed. People, a certain amount of people that couldn't come for whatever reason did leave the group. So it leaves you with the impression that those that are still in the group should be arriving, right? Can you believe it? Nobody's arrived. Not that it matters. That's the thing is, you form a group when you're adamant that you want to go anyway. In which case, you know, you're not going to worry or take it personally if nobody actually arrives. It's just as much for your own sake as for anybody else that either wants to come or has missed out on seeing places like the old dam again, or maybe even for the first time. So yeah, you will get people that stay on there and give you the impression, look here, what would somebody leave 10 cents on the railway line for? I've picked it up, it's for me. People, if anybody sees this, if you join a group, just earn some respect, earn a little bit of respect, and go off the group so that we can know anybody that's on there is actually likely to come along and join us. Mano, yep. At least I had a fat smile on my face. There ended up being about, I think 7, maybe only 6 actually, participants, including myself. So yeah, make that about 5 people that didn't go off the group. But this is why quite often one puts on a message saying, for those of you that are still planning on coming, please put up your hands on the WhatsApp group so that one can see it. But I didn't even bother doing that. And why? Because I couldn't really care. Who arrives and who doesn't. Let's go and see what they're missing on. Some of them may have their circumstances, but then anyway, let me not harp over it. Just take yourself off the group. I'm going to leave a message on the main group again, which has over 100 participants who don't participate all, to please say no hard feelings. We've left a message like that before as well. Check this water. We've left a message like that before to say on the main group, to say that if groups get formed, please take yourself off if you're not going to participate anymore. They take no notice of that. Anyway, I'm tired of filming on the railway line. Once I'm up and maybe over the top railway line, I'll start filming again. Between now and the dam, this is going to be the only stream. I mean, on the way back from the dam, since it's a circle route, we'll have another stream. So one can fill up here, but anybody that has started walking would still have water on them. Check this wall, water coming out of it. A lot of precious underground water busy leaking out of that bore. And so the appeal starts. Good news, is that we can walk at our own pace today. When we feel like speeding up, we can do it. When we feel unfit, we can slow down. Should have brought my music with me actually. Record at the top railway line as we cross it now. In about 20 minutes time, I'd say. And here we cross the railway line, the top one. There, between the top one here and the bottom one, which is obviously all the same railway line, it just makes a U-turn, a horseshoe. Between the two here, there's not really a lot of indigenous growth. It's, for some other reason, very specific actually, but for some other reason, it is rather overgrown with invasive species. Now, the climb towards the higher part via this spot starts, which shouldn't be too long. I'm just breaking a couple of ferns and giving my contribution here. I remember the person saying, "How can you break those ferns?" I said, "You've clearly not been in the mountain before. If you were, you'd know how these ferns take over." "No, but you can't break the ferns like that." I said, "Trust me, if you're walking here, maybe even just the same trail often enough, you'll know what I'm talking about." Anyway, here the growth starts changing, and the views of town start opening up. I am huffing and puffing and sweating, so yeah, it's good for my own purpose that I came for a walk. A lot of yellow flowers. I can see a lot of yellow flowers coming. Let us see and systematically climb. I haven't cleaned the lens, so I hope it's clean. Let me clean it with a shit. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yellow flowers. And very healthy looking grass. And white flowers. I'll record when we further towards the top. I see some orangey looking ones further up there. I just got another error message on. Just want to clean this. Got another error message as I started recording. So I sincerely hope it is recording, but I know I've said it before, so I'm fairly optimistic. Check this here. And now have a look at it with the town in the background. Actually, there's some pink flowers. I was taking a photo or two and I was so enjoying myself so much taking photos of it, I actually clean forgot to film. Let's walk slightly in here and show you the kind of I'm talking about. Is it in focus? Yeah. Beautiful, eh? Looks pretty much fynbos. I'm not too sure what it is. In fact, admittedly, I barely know the name of any fynbos, but I sure enjoy looking at it. There's a lot of them coming up towards the top there. This is all very, very healthy. Total contrast to the section below, between the two railway lines. Yellow flowers. And more yellow flowers as we climb. And this is fairly moderate, at least. One doesn't need to be super fit. Fit enough, but not super fit to be able to do it. I'm going to carry on filming here because we're quite close to a huge group of these pink flowers, and I hope they're noticeable on the GoPro. Can you see them? Heaps of them here. Stunning. With a mountain background. You try and take a photo. I noticed one, maybe two people walking further up there. I think they were doing Varenkloof and they're heading towards our way. So that would mean they came from that side, and the odds are they are going to meet up. Or he could just be one person, ready shirt. We shall see. And we are gaining in elevation. Getting to the parts where you get to see more of the Garden Route Dam and more of that section that we're going to see all about now. And a huge array of pink flowers. Lots and lots of pink flowers. Beautiful. I'd love to know what they're called. Can't zoom in much closer with this. Stunning flowers. It looks like a youngish couple coming. One, two, three, four, 5, 6. Oh my goodness gracious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 9 people, and maybe more. Mole. Kom julle van daai van Varenkloof se kant en ek kom van hierdie kant af. Sommer 'n hele groep van julle, né?
Ja, ek het
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Waar gaan julle? Gaan julle Oudam toe of?
Ja, want dat is bij die grot.
O, was julle by die grot daar?
Ja.
Is mooi dan, hè? Geniet het hoor. Cheers. No. Well, there's a group of them, of at least about 9. And I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that. Well, actually, I am used to that. Let's just say I didn't recognize the face, and I'm not used to a group of people where I don't recognize a single face. I'm not used to a unfamiliar person looking at me so seriously in the mountains. Get a break, guy. Stunning. You want to tell me all those pink flowers when I finished? I mean, there were like thousands of them. I thought there may be more, but not to be. I would have liked to stop where they stopped. Just happens to be timing, because where they stop, you've got a view over town and over this catchment area. We could be heading for some blue flowers now. That we will see. This path is just, the whole walk so far has just been nice, soft soil. Not slippery and not muddy and not bone dry, just nice, soft, damp soil. Now we are getting to a bit more of a rocky placey, rocky section. Maybe take a photo or two here with some rocks and these blue flowers next to them. We're progressing. We're going to get to a section where there's the whole catchment area, by the way. Rocks. Maybe that's worth a photo. Catchment. I can see a section with full of pink flowers towards the bottom there, and then trail goes around about the middle of the screen. We're first going here, and then we're just going to go around, and then eventually down on the other side there. So we're progressing. A little bit muddy there. It's probably, just that one step was probably the muddiest little part of the entire walk so far. Now, some more rocks, bit of wind coming up. Little bit, well, breeze. Let's just call it a strong breeze. Rocks. That is what you get in the catchment area, is wind. A heap of pink flowers towards the top there. Some other team has made an effort in opening up the trail again, at least a meter left and right. I cannot imagine there is a few private citizens. So, what makes me hopeful is that if it was Cape Nature who's opened this up, cleaned it up, that they may have done the same on the opposite side, since formally speaking, this is part of the whole long Tierkop trail. And if you go to the office at Witfontein, one would see one of the options is the Tierkop trail. And part of it is on the opposite side, where you can head up to the hut there and supposedly camp there. I normally go past the hut, well past it, and set my tent up further towards the forest section. And I'll show you now what parts I'm talking about. Basically, let me see if my finger's on the right part here. Basically, this whole trail goes deep into the catchment area and then crosses into the opposite side, and there's a hut, and then continues far further as well to the other side of the mountain, in fact, where you eventually meet up with the Montague Pass. I've taken a few photos like with that in front and mountain at the back already. Awesome flowers, beautiful, really beautiful. I'm tempted to place a photo of them on my local town group and ask what they are. There will be some herpetologist or whatever one calls them that will know. Awesome. All of this here is recovered 100%. Anyone who's actually following this video will notice that by far the majority of the mountain is recovered. It's really just between those two railway lines for some other reason. I cannot work it out. Maybe it's because the closer you get to civilization towards the bottom, over the long term, the better the chance of wattle trees, especially where forests been opened up, wattle trees and other things that you don't want, invasive species. Not too long and we're going to get to a road, off-road, that is used by waterworks to get to the very dam we're going to. We're going to cross it because there should be a trail, well there is one right across from it, which is this trail. We're just going to cross it, and I'm interested to see if it's also been opened up, such as this spot here. I sincerely hope so. Remember what I said about crossing this road? Whenever the sluices need to be opened of the cement concrete dam, call it what you like, where we're going, they travel here all along there, and then they've got a steep walk. Doesn't take you right to the dam, they've still got a steep walk down eventually, but at least they can get relatively close. And I've only been lucky enough once to be at the dam when the sluices were opened, and even a relatively small dam like this compared to some in northern province and so on is something to see, that's for sure. It's something to see. Great sound. I am pretty sure last December this time the mountain was pretty dry, fairly dry. Look at this whole trail, I don't know if you can see it. This whole trail has got a little bit of water in it here. It's even a little bit more muddier than it was just above the road. Yep, they've definitely opened up here. Fantastic. That would mean, I sincerely hope, yes, and it looks like they did. I don't know if you're going to see it. I doubt it very much. But there's a trail. This trail that we're on here takes us to the dam on the other side there eventually. From that dam, you go up on the other side, and you go up. You may see that trail, you may not, but there it goes. And there it goes, and there it goes, and there it goes, and then takes you with a sharp up to the hut, which is there. And if this has all been opened up, which must surely have been done with some manpower, that could mean that the other side's been opened up as well, which tells me Sandparks does actually take interest in the trails. Would have been interesting to be around when they did it. This must have taken either quite a lot of people or quite some time, but it's not that long ago that I walked here. Anyway, some more flowers with a mountain in the background. And maybe start recording when I'm closer to the dam. Heap of white rocks, bright white rocks with mountain in the back. Beautiful. Just suddenly they appear from nowhere. Although I've been here before, so it's not surprising, but it still feels like they just appear from nowhere. Man, I'm so grateful for this trail being opened up. And if I can see the trail, like I was saying earlier, across the road so clearly, or not across the road, across the catchment area that goes up there so clearly from here, they've clearly opened that, because that section particularly needed to be opened up more than this side. This side of the catchment was still accessible, doable. That side was becoming horribly overgrown and damp, actually wet, whereas if they open it up, better chance that it dries out a bit. Ooh, got a few little precious rocks that were put up here. Let's contribute here. Let's find a rock. Why not? Let's find a little rock here and put it at the top there. No purpose, because it's not a sign of turning off to your left or right or anything, but anyway. And we're reaching the point where we can hear the water. It's all the water that leaks out of the dam and ends up in the Garden Road Dam. And you may or may not see it on here, but there's the dam. Oh, a little bit more water than I expected. I knew it's not going to be full, but a little bit more water than I thought there's going to be. Not bad for this time of the year. Not bad at all. Can you see it? Let's try and zoom in a bit here. Is that awesome? That's been our goal today, our destination. Probably been here close to 50 times, about between 40 and 50 times by now, and it's hard to get tired of it. Since this is our goal today and where we're going to be turning around, may as well record all the way this last section of getting down onto it. One actually goes beyond the wall, look to the inside of the wall, and the color of the water is quite interesting. And then here when just shortly after it's rained, one can, I'll show you now, one can actually see water coming down there on that side. Yeah, we make a nice U-turn. And head towards the wall. This is part of the path that the people have to walk. Remember the road I was talking about earlier, where Waterworks travels? They can only drive up to a point, and then this whole section we're walking is just part of where they have to still walk to actually get to the wall, to get to the dam. I would say we are seconds away from being on the dam. A little bridge that plenty of people are weary of. Like, this has rusted off here. This feels fairly sturdy to me. This bridge here. Steps, which don't feel too bad. And on the dam we go. On the dam. Shame on those who stayed on the group and didn't pitch. With all due respect, you either take yourself off the group, don't just let, it's like saying to it's like making an appointment with a doctor. No different to making an appointment with a doctor and not pitching. It's disrespectful, man. Definitely more water than I thought there would be. I mean, you can hear all the water. All the water you can hear is water that comes out, that leaks out of it and comes out of a valve at the bottom there. Right at the bottom. There's a rusted old valve and a lot of water. Just as much water, if not, what fell out of my pocket here? Just as much water that actually leaks out of it. What fell out of my pocket? Surely nothing fell out of my pocket. This could be a nice photo. A few steps there and then we're on the other side. We're going to turn back to there, where I've walked 4 or 5 times now and camped. Everything we've practically walked now, different route to the dam, to this dam, then over, fairly far back, well, up to about there, then all along the ridge, the top there, other side that little hill there, other side this one, then eventually you end up there. That's where I set up my tent, in that piece of forest there. Right there, there's a piece of forest in the middle. Then eventually you get there, onto that piece of saddle. You go over that saddle to the other side of the mountain, and then all along on the other side there's different kinds of growth, and it eventually takes you to the Montague Pass. I've done that in a day, but then I get picked up at the Montague Pass. In the past, when I've done it, I have camped and then walked down It's only one of the times that I didn't camp, and I got picked up right at the Montague Pass where it meets up with the Monty. And the other times, the other 3 times, when setting up camp, I then end up walking down the entire Montague Pass as well, which is fairly good exercise when you've got a backpack with a tent and a mattress and everything else that goes with it. Why not take the umpteenth photo? You want to see this when it's been opened up, when these sluices have been opened up. You want to hear that water. It's a sight to see. You could hear what this little bit of water sounds like that comes out here, that just leaks out. Can you imagine what it sounds like? There are the sluices. There. That is something to see. Let me see if I can take a photo while holding the GoPro here, since we are at the dam still. I think we're gonna have to go back a bit more. There's actually a door there. One day I'm gonna climb down and get into that wall. And door is open, I see. It's going back even further here. We will see. We will see how it comes out. Now it's all level. On the way back, we were walking at the top there. Now we're going level pebble back to the railway line, and then I'm opting to walk along the railway line back. Whereas if some people actually decided to join, and in particular the people that remained on the group and didn't actually notify me that they're not coming, I would have gone through the forest, and they would have maybe seen. Yeah, I don't know. But since I'm admin, also a partial admin of the main group, I'm very, very tempted to leave a message again to say, please, just will you leave the actual groups that you have joined if there are unforeseen reasons that you can't join the hike anymore, so that we at least know whoever remains on it to the last day is actually likely to arrive. Anyway, certainly doesn't make me sorry I've come to see and give feedback to people on what it looks like. Great stuff. It looks like this has also been opened up and sprayed a bit. Definitely been sprayed a bit by the looks of things, to keep it accessible. Quite far since my last recording. This is largely what this entire level section looks like, and all the way to the railway line. Very accessible, clearly also been opened up by somebody. And since it's not a formal trail on any Cape Nature, it's not a formal Cape Nature trail. I'd be interested to know if it's them that did it. The amount of work that's gone into here, it surely must have taken manpower of people like them. Otherwise, cannot imagine that somebody has managed to get enough buddies together to do it privately out of the goodness of their heart. What you may or may not notice, depending on the wind and the microphone, is the water running And you can hear the water for most of this piece down there. Quite a lot of water running into this garden route dam still. I almost get the feeling that the amount of water running in could be more than the amount we use. But it could, in fact, in other words, just be filling up still. It's not that long, and it should run over after the upgrade. But as soon as it does, everybody will know. That is yet to happen after the upgrade. But the day will come. And of course, what I haven't mentioned, but you've seen it before, or you've seen it so far on the video, and you know it if you've walked in this terrain before. No trees, it's fynbos. You get your forest sections, but they're few and far between, because that's not what this mountain's about. This mountain, well, this part of the mountain is about fynbos. You head more towards halfway, Knysna, Hoekville, even Hoekville, Knysna and so on. You do get large forest sections. Where we were the other day, for instance, more towards I think of it now. It wasn't Easterfontein, something like that, where we were for our year-end hike. It's all pure indigenous forest. This whole section is fynbos. Stunning weather in the end today. And we get to a nice waterfall again. You can hear water running. I've heard more than this before, but then you got to be here a day or 2 or 3 just after it's rained. Nice chill spot with shade here. Common place where people, when I've brought other people before, this is an obvious place to just sit on the rocks and enjoy yourself. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. I think it's Kit Kat, huh? Have a break, have a Kit Kat. Slippery, downery. We don't want to. And I know these shoes can slip. I know that for a fact. Water on that side and water on this side. Probably taken about 40 different pictures of this before, but I think I'll take another one. Just as a reminder that we were here towards the middle of December, and who knows, nothing stops us from coming here again. In December, I mean, we're definitely coming again. But what I mean is like in December. Let's try and get a bit of a close-up of some water. See how it comes out. I don't know. Would not get my hopes too high. Just taking it blindly. Well, let's have a look at the time here. 10 o'clock. We left it off for 7. And it's 2.5 hours, and we're well past, very well past the halfway mark. One could argue that we are maybe even 3/4 by now. Maybe not 3/4, close. My guess is that we are going to be back at home at about 11:30 already. Nice little waterfall, eh? I don't need to say much, eh? It's just thousands of pink flowers. And then there's a gap and another couple of thousands of ones again. I really should try and take another close-up, one or two at least, with a mountain in the back. We've reached the T-junction and the road that they have to drive on to get the staff closer sooner. A road that we crossed earlier. We're going to cut off this piece of road any moment and take a shortcut to the railway line. A shortcut that we are familiar with, which is here, which I'm familiar with. Not everybody. What is this? This is quite a solid piece of concrete there. That's brand new. I don't know what it's for, but it's brand new. So we go through a couple of invasive things here to get to where we want to be. At least we know where we want to be. This is more of the trail actually. It's just not so noticeable. The entrance of it isn't so noticeable from the road. And within seconds we're on the railway line at the Horseshoe. And it's now 10:20. We could even be back home by 11 o'clock. I'll show you, this is the top railway line. Of course one could walk with it as well and then get off it and turn sharply down where you meet up with the bottom one, or you can just walk with the bottom one. And we're going with the bottom one. The bottom one, the bottom one. We're going with the bottom one. Like I was saying at a stage, I'm going to go on it. At any of the people pitched that stayed on the group and did not notify me that they're not going to pitch, I would have given them options. Especially anybody that may have been unfamiliar with this. I would have told them they can choose between a level railway line and a forest, which isn't quite as level but doable. You've got to be prepared for 1,000 rocks, stones on the railway line. Goodbye catchment area and millions upon millions of pink flowers. Awesome. I was not expecting that, but that's what happens when you come every 2-3 weeks. You get to see something different. Might see red flowers, then pink flowers next. Yellow flowers. I'm going to take a photo at one of the places that I've done it the umpteenth time. I've actually taken a photo more than once standing here of the power van coming along this railway line with a mountain view in the back. As we turn around, you're going to see Nana. We're just going to make a little turn here to take a photo, but not quite yet. Let's just get the angle right. And starting to look better, a little bit more. Another one of those places where I may as well take it with the phone as well as the camera. That looks better. Maybe even just a little bit more back, since we've got a heap of invasive stuff on the right hand side here, which we don't want. Check those old sleepers. Neatly packed also, I might say, actually. And lots and lots of new concrete sleepers, cement sleepers, call them what you like, that were laid in. Hard work. Some more neatly packed inside. I wasn't expecting the old ones to be packed so neatly. This is a lot of hard work here. But now apparently this friend of mine knows a lot of people at the railway, and somebody who works there said to him that this railway line still won't be able to actually take heavy traffic in terms of locomotives going over, trains going over from us to Oudtshoorn, freight trains taking loads of stuff. Apparently this railway line wouldn't be able to handle that. Now this is in the past. For years and years, every morning somewhere around 4 o'clock, between about 4 and 5 most of the times, you would hear loco coming up and past our suburb, and that would be an awesome sound when he would blow his horn bright and early in the morning. Even in winter, if you had to wake up by something, I don't mind being woken up by that. Other people might. I think it was a great sound, and I missed that. But apparently, as from the 15th, that's the day after tomorrow, the power van will be running here again. For anybody who doesn't know, the power van is like a little mini train. It pulls either one van. First of all, it can take seats in itself, but it can pull one van, sometimes even 2 vans, and take some passengers up to a viewpoint, and where they hang around there for a while, and then bring them back down on the same line again. And that, I think, a lot of people will be looking forward to, including especially myself and my friend Cole de Campos. He loves trains and very knowledgeable about trains. And no doubt I'll be taking a photo or two as they get to start their runs here again, because this was, there was so much work being done on here. Nobody could go on here, only the workers were laying in new sleepers. So it's been, it's been over 2 years since the power van has taken any passengers up. It came up the other day, but just for some inspection apparently it was, to go and check at the spot where they park and let passengers hang around for a while. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. I'm not going to record this entire piece of railway line, but thought I'd show you some info about what's to come on it. After about just over half an hour on the railway line, we're going to turn left here and head down towards the street. There's the railway line. There was the railway line. Here we go down. Anybody that's actually watched this, thanks for watching. And if you have watched all of this, you would have seen the millions and millions of flowers, which made it worthwhile to me. In Afrikaans, I'm going to say, ander mense kan jou in die steek laat, maar dit hoef nie te beteken jy hoef jouself in die steek te laat nie, né? In other words, other people may let you down. That doesn't mean to say that you have to let yourself down. I felt like doing this. I didn't feel like doing it by forming the group. I formed the group because I felt like doing it, and nobody pitched. I don't care. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to watch any other one. It might be coming up still. Goodbye mountain, hello civilization.